Y'all? It's your girl Azrae reporting to you live from the dock. Okay, I'm not at the beach today, but I am definitely at some water. Like water. There's a body of water in between some islands. Okay, I'm not gonna disclose my location because y'all folks be, we got some fans, but we got some crazy people too. But y'all know I'm not in Vegas anymore. Reporting to you live from not Las Vegas. I haven't been in Vegas for over a month, and I'm not coming back anytime soon. Got some stuff I gotta take care of, but we're no longer living in Las Vegas. So I met a couple last night, and this particular woman I met was so rich, y'all. I had no idea this lady was rich like this. I just thought she was cool. She had cool vibes. I loved her bag. Her bag was so pretty, and she looked like she was well taken care of. So I was like, I'm trying to be friends with this lady. And I guess she felt my vibe. So, gonna find out her husband is a poker player. Her husband is rich as fuck. Okay. He was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to open up a poker room. Would you come be a dealer? I said, absolutely. You want me to come be a dealer in your poker room? Your private poker room that you're gonna make? And I get to help you? Oh yeah. I said, yeah, I'll come dealer until I open my own poker room. You can help me open my own poker room. He started laughing, but he didn't say no. All right, so what I'm gonna do is one thing I learned from this woman, like she was supposed to be getting a Louis bag today. So her husband was like trying to hustle her on like not giving her all the money for the Louis bag. And she was like, I'm only giving you 900. She said, all I can buy is a wallet. I don't want a wallet. You said you gonna give me a Louis bag. So he went into his account, and I guess he went and looked on the Louis Vuitton website to see how much these Louis bags are. Which they're probably gonna be more in this store anyway. He was like, "Well, I just give you my credit card." She was like, "No, because you gotta be there, and you're not gonna be able to be there. So you're gonna have to give me cash. Give me cash for the bag, and I'll go get the bag myself." So he was like moving his money around so he could go get her. And I learned to realize she didn't yell with him. He tried to be like all aggressive. He was like taking food off her plate. He was like, "I'm paying for food anyway." She was looking like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You're still gonna give me my Louis bag. Like, what is this? Like, she was so calm, and I was like, yo, I learned a valuable lesson from this woman. This woman taught me, do not back down. Do not back down and don't settle for shit. She told me her ex-husband was in the military, and I said, damn, this lady reading me for filth? She reading me for filth. Like, military men, they got money, but they be being stingy as fuck. Not all of them got money, though. Some of them be broke as fuck, though. Be broke as fuck because they got all these addictions and stupid ass shit they be doing. But my ex fiance that was in the military, like if she could buy it, she bought me anything I wanted, and that's what I have to pay attention to. Why can't these women take care of the women that they with, be providers, but these men can't in the black community? So let's talk about it. That's what they got me coming to this water to talk to y'all about. Cause I literally just did a tarot read for one of my clients last night, and it's a long story between me and Cowrie shows. Like, I have had so much happen, and I have been terrified to use these shows. So this will be the first time y'all have ever seen me do a Cowrie show reading. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm on the water and I want to get these messages from the ancestors. So look at this as the message from the ancestors. So, all right. So the first thing I want to say is I have one of these shells, and I didn't notice this shell looked a little dusty on the other side, but the dusty is going out. Like the dusty is going out. Like we don't have time to play with these men anymore. Men that don't keep their word and don't stand on what they are supposed to be standing, they don't stand on business, are men that are not allowed to be around us anymore. And that doesn't even just go for men that you're dating in the black community. This goes for men that are supposed to be political powers. This goes for men that are supposed to be providers. This goes for men that are supposed to be leaders. This goes for men that are supposed to have us in positions of authority and have us in generational wealth, and they have done nothing but waste that shit on money. Not money. They've wasted it on women to impress them with money. They've wasted it on sex. They wasted it on drugs. They wasted it on material objects that they no longer even possess. Okay, and these particular beings are people that are blocking you. So this reading was inspired by a dream I had last night. I had a dream last night that I had two black women that I don't recognize, and they were helping me because my building that I lived in was being like taken hostage. There was a man in my building that was killing, he was unaliving everybody in my building trying to get to me. Like anybody that was trying to stop this man, he was unaliving them. And he somehow got a key to my place. And no matter how much I tried to lock the door, like we was playing with that lock for a long ass time, he still ended up coming into the house. Like it was like on some weird ass magical type shit. And the guy looked very resemblant to a man that did things to harm me. This man human trafficked me. And he used me for my spiritual gifts, and he took me to see somebody with these Cowrie shells, not the ones I have now, but with shells. And that's why I hadn't been wanting to use the shells to talk about it, nothing. And so this particular dream, I used my beauty to hypnotize this man. I hypnotized him so I could stab him and kill him, unalive him. Excuse me. But this was in a dream. Like this wasn't in real life. We're not talking about physically unaliving people. Like this was a dream I had. And so I took this as, when I looked it up, the machete, what it means in a dream. It talks about aggression, people being aggressive towards you. And these men that are broke, these men that are broken, they're not even just broke, they're broken. They are delusional. Like I can't even begin to describe to you, like every time I have one of my exes that I still stay in communications with because I'm still doing cord cutting work on him and I'm still doing spiritual work to get him out of my energy and to foundationally reboot and restart my whole love life, because this man is a tyrant and he's no good. And he's just, basically, he's just like a damn demon, basically. He's how I feel about him. And every time I'm doing something by the water, anytime I'm doing something with, like, to heal slavery since I've gotten here near this water, this man blows my phone up. He blows my phone up like he's some type of slave trader or some shit, or he's a slave master. Like he has some type of connection to this water. And I started coming to this water because he told me that he had an apartment that he lived in, or a house he lived in, that was called something something plantation. And so there's a street and there's an actual body of water here that is named after this plantation that he was living in. And so, saying all that to say, we have connections to the water in ways that we may not even know. And a lot of people be overlooking the names of stuff. So they're saying, you got to start paying attention to your surroundings. You need to start paying attention to the names of the streets you live on, the names of the numbers of the buildings that you're going into. You need to pay attention to the names of the people that you're around. You need to pay attention to who does what, when, where, and how when you're doing spiritual work. Because right now, we are coming in contact with people that did foul shit to our ancestors. I literally met a man who was, in his past life, was one of the biggest slave traders in our fucking country. This man is a real estate broker now. These are the people that are causing all the fucking issues. We have reincarnated slave masters and reincarnated slave traders that are making fucking decisions in this country right now. You understand me? Making decisions. And their decisions specifically are to make black women and indigenous women and women of color, POC women, to make us fucking sex slaves to them again. They are trying to use housing, weaponized housing, to reenact the fancy girl slave trade. And I had premonitions about this before I got to where I am now. I have been having premonitions. The ancestors have been showing me this for the past 2 years, maybe 3 years. They've been showing me this since 2021, okay? 2021, 2022, they've been showing me this. And so I'm saying all this to say, like, we cannot allow people to continue to play with us anymore. And that's what these shells are saying. It's like, you need to start using all of your gifts and your tools in order to be free from the bondage in which we still are enacting it. We are not free yet. Like, and it said, I don't know where I saw this article, but it was saying if you don't own a home, you are basically still in shackles. And this, some people may not feel this as much as black people do, but I feel this shit. The fact that every person in my family does not own their own home and they all got to put their money together to buy one house and live into that motherfucker in chaos and confusion and discord is very telling to the times that we live in. You know what I'm saying? If they wasn't living in that house together, they all be going through. They probably would all be recruiting in sex trafficking by now. I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you, because that is what this fucking country has been making so much capital off of. And so many people that are wealthy and privileged and power feel as if they are immunized to this, but have no fucking idea that this is affecting everybody. This obsession with the elites feeling as if they can buy and sell human beings is a problem. And it's something that has to be talked about more. And as we continue on within the next I would say until 2028. 2028 is the year they're showing me where this is gonna stop. Like things are gonna lessen up. The government, there's government officials that are not fucking with this, that have got involved in certain places and jurisdictions and have began to create, they have overriding constitutions. But this is one thing that I feel that you should be very concerned about. Why do y'all have power to override constitutions? Y'all already don't implement the constitutional rights as is. The Constitution is from what I was told by a lawyer, is a guide. It's not the law of the land. So your 13th Amendments don't mean shit. These amendments that they claim that they gave us in order to say that slavery was abolished, none of that shit is actually in code. You got multiple states that have in writing in their own state constitutions that allow sex trafficking and human trafficking to still be legal. And this is why we're having issues. These other people, I'm not worried about y'all. Y'all gonna have to fight this shit on your own. But people of color, this is something that y'all really gotta stop fucking playing around with. Y'all need to stop playing around with these kidnappings and disappearances and them not doing nothing. The missing and murdered indigenous women need to stop just being a fucking activism. Like, we need to actually be making sure that we know what the fuck is happening to our people. Why are y'all coming missing off a reservation? Who in our powers and our political structures and government officials is allowing people to come and take us? Or are they selling y'all? Hello? Just like how they try to make it seem like when the slave trade first happened, the transatlantic slave trade first happened, because we have a multitude of slave trades that have happened. A multitude of slave trades that have happened. Why is it so palatable? Why is it so palatable for people to just take people? People that don't know the land, people don't know nothing about the language, they don't know nothing about the culture. I don't believe that these people are just being taken. I don't believe this. And that's because they're not being taken. I think that was a fish or something. They're not just being taken. People are creating systemic poverty and deprivation of resources to make certain people vulnerable, specifically women, vulnerable to sexual violence. Okay? I promise you any amount of money, before 2028, every metropolitan city in this nation is going to have some form of open air sex slave auction. You're going to see more and more blades popping up where women are going to be in broad daylight being sold for sex in this country. And I'm not making this up at all. This is what's coming through in this reading. You have people that felt as if they could never be touched by sex trafficking that are being affected by sex trafficking. And a lot of the sex trafficking is being fueled and protected by the drug trade. And I'm not just talking about under like illicit drugs. I'm not talking about just like recreational. I'm talking about people weaponizing big pharmaceutical formulations to keep people stuck in bondage. Think about how hard it would be if you are a victim of sex trafficking and you are trying to leave your trafficker, but your trafficker has a formulated drug that they created that you can't get anywhere else, that you are addicted to and could cause harm by going through immediate withdrawals from this particular medication. I feel like a lot of these overdoses that we see is that particular situation. When we see these celebrities, specifically women that overdose on certain pills and they're like, it was a formulation of this, how did they get that formulation? Because that doesn't even sound like it's naturally and nature made. And they're like, oh, this is why you shouldn't mix drugs. Do you think these women, come on now, some of these rappers and singers, Gucci Man artist is one of these rappers I'm talking about. That's what I've seen. Because we can't be hiding no more. Do you think that girl, I'm not trying to be fucking funny, but do you think that girl really know how to go and get these very elite ingredients and mix her own pills at the crib to overdose on? Come on now, like even this, a lot of this stuff that's on the streets, if it's got any type of like high amounts of codeine, high amounts of like ingredients that you need from a pharmaceutical facility, warehouse, whatever, somebody's selling them that shit. They're not just going in there and just taking all the fucking ingredients to make these drugs. The actual big pharmaceutical people might not be, pharmacists may not be making it for them to overdose. But somebody that is a part of the medical world is giving these people access to these ingredients to make these fucking drugs, to make these women be fucking zombies and to be sex trafficked. I mean, like, And it's like, I don't know like what is going on, whether it be it's TikTok that y'all watching, or if it's Instagram that y'all watching, or it's Tumblr that y'all watching, or whatever it is that y'all watching on these internets and TVs that is brainwashing you and taking your pineal gland to make you believe that this shit is not going on, to believe that these people are the bad person and not the motherfuckers that's actually enacting and doing this. I don't know where y'all got fucked up at, but y'all gotta fix this shit, because this is how slavery started in the first place. And this shit is happening again in your face, and you're not even being aware of it, because you're so dogmatically programmed to accept what society tells you is dogmatically correct, and you are being fucking just basically robbed in front of your fucking face. People being robbed in front of their fucking faces. They don't even fucking know. Like, they're like not even aware, or they just don't, they feel like they're powerless. And I'm just like, what's the purpose of living in this place if you're not gonna use what you have available to you? Yes, we are still in some form of bondage as a collective, but we are nowhere near as enslaved as our ancestors were. Some people might be. I'm not gonna say nobody is, because there's some crazy ass motherfuckers out here. But as a collective, we are nowhere near as enslaved as our ancestors were. Just as our ancestors found ways to get rid of their slave masters and their slave traders, y'all gonna have to get creative too. Cooking, cleaning, mopping, sweeping, fucking sucking, all that. You gotta get creative on how you're gonna get away from these motherfuckers. And you need to figure it out, because your life depends on it. You figuring out how to get from up underneath these men that are using you, taking all your money. Girl, there's girls out here that claim they better than the next girl out here that's being pimped on the corner. But y'all over here, literally every fucking dollar you make, you're spending it on a man that don't give you shit but some dick. And he ain't even giving, it ain't even like his loyal dick. This man giving dick to every fucking body. Y'all gotta start doing receipts on a lot of these healers that y'all following on social media too, because a lot of these motherfuckers are being sex trafficked. Showing you these lifestyle, and their lifestyle is them being trafficked. Okay? Like, we gotta start being way more discernful of who it is that we follow. These blind followings is not gonna work no more. Okay? Following people just because it looks good aesthetically is not gonna be the move anymore. Y'all need to actually start really pulling soul cards on people and figuring out if people really are who they are. It's a lot of people out here that's supposed to be in power, and they don't even got no soul. But you over here thinking that they the best thing since sliced bread happened. And that's just not how this is gonna fly no more. People have to start being way more discernful, in particular on the company that they keep, the places that they patronize, and the things that they're putting in their body. All food ain't good food. Okay? I felt like I hadn't had no nourishment since I left Las Vegas. I really had started becoming sick from the food that we were getting in Vegas. And I don't know. And I started like asking people around, are y'all getting sick too? And they said, yeah, they was getting sick too. Like, certain places in this country, they are definitely doing shit to your food. For sure doing something to your fucking food. Like, especially if you live in remote places like Las Vegas, where there is no way to really grow a lot of food around. There's no way locally to herd animals around. You need to be aware that if there was ever like a martial law that took place, you are gonna die there. I don't give a fuck how rich you are. Unless you own a helicopter or an aircraft and you can just get in and out of your own private property on your own, you have no way to protect or to feed yourself if there was ever any form of terrorism or anything was to happen where you can't go to the grocery store to get food. Even the way Las Vegas is designed, if there was ever an evacuation, you don't have no other alternative routes to get in and out of that place. And this is what people have to start paying attention to in the times that we live in right now. We are in the middle of another world war that's happening. Regardless if they don't want to call it a world war or not, we are in the middle of a world war. Meaning that anything can happen at any point in time. I had somebody ask me recently why I don't want to go to school in the city. Why? Y'all keep seeing all these mass shootings that's happening at these schools. And where the schools at that most of these mass shootings at the colleges is happening? They're in major cities. Major cities are the first place that's going to be hit by terrorism, specifically on these college campuses. We got some terroristic group that did not want people, specifically women, to be educated. Last mass shooting, two professors that were females got unalived. Did legislation still change any laws to make sure women were safe in Nevada? No. Like, I swear, I don't care how rich you are. Las Vegas is the worst place in the world as a woman, specifically as a black woman, to live right now. Okay? Any city where your political powers have no fucking amnesty for sex trafficking, kidnapping, human trafficking, or any fucking violence of crimes towards women, and they have no resources for you to escape, there is not a place for you to live. If you can't call law enforcement because somebody over here beating your ass out here and they not going to actually come and fucking do something to help you out, you need to get the fuck away from there. It should not take it to be in a hostage situation where the whole building is on lockdown because some man got you at gunpoint for you to be able to get away. This is psychotic. What the fuck are we paying all these taxes to the government for if we can't call their ass when we need them? Hello? You might as well live in a third world country where they don't have no government influence. I'm just being honest. What are you paying all this motherfucking money for if you don't have no protection? You don't have no protection besides your own. What are we paying them for? These are questions we really gotta start asking ourselves. What are we paying the fucking government for if they're not protecting us as a collective? If I can't go to school and get an education without worrying about being kidnapped or recruited into sex trafficking, what the fuck am I paying y'all for? Me being kidnapped and being recruited for human trafficking should not be a rites of passage to get a fucking college degree. Wearing a bulletproof vest and learning how to shoot a rifle should not be a fucking rites of passage to go to school in this country. Hello? Like, y'all really gotta start really making, like I said, I don't know where the fuck y'all third eyes done gone. I don't know where y'all done got shit fucked up and confused. Y'all done got way too comfortable. Okay? Way too comfortable in thinking and believing and trusting that these political people that y'all got are going to make sure that your best interest is at heart. They don't give a fuck about none of you. They don't give a fuck about none of us. We are ants to them. Okay? We come a dime a dozen to them is how they look at it. And if we want to keep it straight and stacked, there is some extra, I don't even know if it's extraterrestrial or there's something else that is animating the people that are in power. Them people do not have no souls. You look into them people's eyes, it's nothing but black and darkness in their eye because there's nothing in there. There's nothing that actually values life that are inside of these political powers. There just isn't. I've been in rooms with them. I've sat at tables with them. I've ate dinner with these motherfuckers. I've been closer to a lot of political people than a lot of people whatever. I've been sat at the same table with people that go there. Their 9 to 5 is working at the White House. Okay? And I'm sitting here telling you, from my experiences, that they have no souls. There is not life inside of them. So how can you expect a person that doesn't have life to make life decisions for you? Okay? This is a lot from this reading. This is to come out. Right? I need to bring life back into myself. This is what is called condolences. And from what I just said, it seems like they're pretty fucking mad. What's going on right now? And how people are taking recast. But I'm confident. Those that need to know. Oh, one more thing y'all need to pay attention to. Pay attention to these islands. Okay? If you have an island or islands around where you are from or where you live, and whether it's in this country or another country, you need to be very careful about sex trafficking right now. Because you are locked on an island. And the only way that you can get what you need that's not grown on that island is by it being flown in. Meaning if they have the power to feed you, they have the power to harm you. Okay? Be breezy, be beautiful, and always stay on these motherfuckers' necks. Okay? This is Azurite.